the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
You're able to afford your Kwabena Nsem-Pii TV. So Dr. Bawumia Edaso what the Asante region on the final regional campaign tour as part of the Break the 8. In Kofo baby analysts be break I said after the Asante regional tour, no, very likely said the next point of action about the announcement of the running mate of Dr. Bawumia for the Break the 8 campaign come 2024. Now, presidential candidates be our Dr. Bawumia contest here, of course. Untimeni Honorable Ken Agyapong film honor Untimeni 37.14%, and Honorable Joe Gatti, a free Akoto, Alan Kojo Tremantain, Mr. Kojo Puku, Mr. Adai Nimo, and Okunedu Apreku, and Boachi Ejako, Ebusuafo Kaya. Now a very strong contest. It's a various alliance CB. Also, now another one I am to be engineering in film are the main highlight of any story here. Engineer Kwabena Agyapong, a professional one press secretary of former President John Agyapong for Sanso, the general secretary, former general secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Even in 2008, no 17 presidential candidates contested as a presidential candidate, and Obeka 10 contested as presidential candidate. In 2000, the pedigree in the New Patriotic Party, and that from cry. According to MP for English, from Mr. Alex Tete, Honorable Ken Agyapong, a man a strong hint. So, Obefree, the United States of America, I'll joining Dr. Bawumia campaign now, because we observe it, and I want a campaign, also campaign campaign the momentum is on an upward trajectory. Now, and on Honorable Kwabena Agyapong, Engineer Kwabena Agyapong, has set the pace with professionals. Kumasi Maimun, because Honorable Dr. Bawumia said, obey president on the private sector, especially in the mining sector as well as government infrastructure. So government for ABC road project and as a hostel facility beer, and this one called loan normally see now later then you treat increase public debt. Also now you bet me according to agreement with the private sector. No more mercy, no more charge at it almost about now at the less burden at so the government sector. So and on engineer Kwabena Agyapong on the professionals the bekasa no ama introductory remarks and sana Dr. Bawumia bekasa na behwe brofo eyefe de engineer Kwabena Agyapong watch say he has been in this political game for a long time. Now oyobia it comes with so much pedigree. Yengotie engineer Kwabena Agyapong introductory remarks from Kumasi Amontin so in welcoming Dr. Bawumia so on private sector engineers the various professionals as part of the campaign for the Break the 8 2024 Asante Kumasi in the Ashanti region.
Excellency, permit me to stand on existing protocols. I feel very humbled and proud to be amongst my colleagues, professionals, and really excited about the energy in the room and the fact that these great many minds have stayed in this country and worked hard for this country despite the difficulties that we face as a people. It's quite clear that we can all help Dr. Bawumia usher in a new chapter in Ghana's life. It's all about how we are dedicated to the values as a people, how we can recalibrate our values, our thinking, our determination to work for the collective. And look at the energy in this room. I feel assured that Ghana is in your safe hands. We need to lead the people, share our passion for our country, our dedication to our flag of Ghana, and of course everybody needs to be compensated properly. But the likes of you who have decided to stay in this country and work hard as professionals, we are the examples to show to the rest of the country that it is possible to be able to change our country. I have very strong confidence in the leadership of a man who has such high personal integrity, humility, vitality, ideas, intellect, and I do believe with him we have a chance to change this country, bring about ethical society, ethical work, values of our country. And as patriots of this country, it is those values that are going to animate what we do going forward. So once again, I want to thank your president, the chairman of the professionals in Kumasi, the efficient and effective way he's mobilized you. And I do believe with solid leadership, pure motives, and good intentions from our leader, inshallah, Ghana will be good once again. May God bless all of us. And I take this opportunity, as I said, to introduce the man who I believe is the right person for this time in our country. A man of action, a man who has ideas, a man who has vitality, the man who has humility. Let's put our hands together for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kwabena. I really appreciate it. Madam Chief of Staff, Ministers of State, Members of Parliament, my good friend, Professor Mensa, our regional party chairman, national party chairman, very good senior aides who have accompanied me here, my fellow professionals. I still consider myself a professional. I'm very happy to be with you this evening. I have been going around the country, and this is the 16th region that I am in this first round of campaigning. And I'm looking for all the ideas that I can get as I put this manifesto together. And so I insisted that this meeting should be organized so that we have a chance to exchange ideas and I get a sense of the feeling, because wisdom doesn't have one person having it. We have it all over. And I know that as professionals, you eat, sleep, and drink every day about Ghana's problems. That is usually what we go through. We are always thinking about problems, analyzing problems, and proffering solutions to problems across. So I know you have thought through many issues. I want us to have an interaction, so I'm hoping that I don't go too deep in terms of length of time, so that we have some time to have a little bit of interaction, that I can respond to some of your suggestions and your questions. Fundamentally, I have generally been focused since I became vice president on trying to put in place certain foundations, certain pillars for this economy. Foundations that were not there since independence. In fact, 14 years ago, I took some time off to be a visiting scholar at Oxford University in the UK. And when I was there, I wrote a book on economic development, basically looking at Ghana and actually Africa and Ghana. And in that book, I was focusing on the things that as a continent and as a country, we needed to be doing. And nobody will tell us to do those things. If we didn't do it, we'll continue. So I talked in the last 2 paragraphs of that book about the unwritten rules of the game, basically saying that internationally we are in a competitive game. Let us make no mistake to think that any country is giving us charity, because every country is competing with us, and every country wants to win that game. And so they only give us charity to the extent that we don't come to defeat them in the competitive game. So when you are in this game internationally, or the game of international development, if you decide to enter the field and don't have a goalkeeper, your opponents will not tell you that you don't have a goalkeeper. They'll keep scoring the goals. And you have to make up your mind that you need a goalkeeper. And these, for me, I said, were some of the unwritten rules of the game. This was before I became vice president. Of course, this was 14 years ago that I published this particular book. And so I was raising the basic issue that the world is moving into the 4th industrial revolution. We are moving into the digital age, the world of STEM, the world of robotics, the world of AI. It is inevitable that this is the direction that we are going into. And so countries such as Ghana need to get ready. Nobody, at that time I was writing, I said, nobody is going to come and tell you to have a national ID card. We've not had it for 60 years, and nobody was going to come and tell us. We had to make that decision to have a national ID card. Nobody will tell us that we should have an address system. But you know that no country can function in the modern world without an address system. You go to the US, go to the UK, any advanced country, and collapse their address system. That country will collapse, will stop immediately, because everything revolves around address systems in the economy. And so if you don't have addresses, those economies cannot function. And so I came to government with the mindset, and this is what I set out in the book at that time, that we can do virtually what every advanced country has done. It is possible for us to even do better. And so I want to move, because for the longest time, we stay with problems and problems and problems, and we don't solve the problems. We go around the problems, but we don't really solve the problems. And so my view was that we can be like a South Korea, we can be like a Singapore, we can be like a UAE, Dubai, we can be like Estonia, all these advanced countries that have made it recently. Ghana can also be like that, and it is possible for us to do so. And so in that context, I think that fundamentally there are things that need to be in place. How do we become like a South Korea and all of that? If you look at South Korea, and you look back at their history, you see that even BC, 4th century BC, they were mortgaging homes to educate children. This is BC. South Korea, they took education that seriously, that people were mortgaging their homes to educate their children. If you want to look at countries that have done well, the data is clear, the evidence is clear. Gross tertiary enrollment ratio has been a key definer of countries that have done well globally. Their gross tertiary enrollment ratio is very high. You look at South Korea today, their gross tertiary education enrollment ratio is about 94%. Educum, is that not correct? If you said it's not correct, I will sack you. I'm just joking. But the bottom line is that they have a gross tertiary enrollment ratio of about 94%. That is high, right? From people moving from senior high school into tertiary institutions. That's very, very high. Now in Ghana, even though we've made some progress recently, we are only around 14%. 20, yeah? So we moved from 14 to 20. Okay. So just look at the gap. 94% versus 20%. This is your competition. So you see that we still have a long way to go. And so when we came into office, it was very clear that the education side, we needed to focus on it. That if we are going to compete globally, the education was important. When we came into office, the president asked me, one of the first questions he asked me, says, Mamadou, can we do free senior high school this year? That is 2017. And I said, yes, Mr. President, we can do it. It is possible for us to do free senior high school this year. And so we quickly arranged the budget to make sure we could do free senior high school education. And I'm glad that we started it in the very first year. There were arguments about whether we should wait and all of that. But we started it. Started with enrollment at the end of 2016 of 800,000 senior high school students. By the end of 2023, after 7 years of free SHS, we had moved from 800,000 to 1.4 million students in the senior high school. So after 60 years, we were at 800,000, and in just 7 years, we added 600,000, a 75% increase. That tells you that there was a problem, really. There was a problem. So many were not able to go to senior high school because of the problems of funding. And we were able to get a lot more people into senior high school, a 75% increase. But also, qualitatively, we now have more girls enrolling in senior high school than boys, which is very, very important. At the end of 2016, for every 100 boys, we had 68 girls. At the end of 2023, for every 100 boys, we have 106 girls. So today, in the middle classes are finding it very difficult in finding mates in their homes. That is really an issue for the middle, because the parents of the girls have come and taken them to school. And so there is a problem in there. But not only that, the performance of the students has gone up. Core 6 WACSI subjects pass rate in 2016, pass rate was 41%. The core 6. 2023 pass rate is 64%. So you've seen a major improvement. And our worry that the more you open the space, the lower the performance. That has always been the concern. The quality will drop. But we seem to have defied that gravity, and rather performance has gone up. We've followed it up recently, thanks to Educhum, that we have provided tablets to all senior high school students. We are distributing them. I know very soon I'll get to Opokuwari Wednesday and distribute the tablets to the students over there. And we are the first country in the continent that I know of that is distributing tablets with all the textbooks and everything on these things. So it's very, very good for us in Ghana. I think we've also started STEM, building STEM schools. We've also started TVET. We've invested more in TVET than any other government. Over spending some 6 billion Ghana cedis over the last 7 years in TVET education. And we've made TVET also free.